Hello, Wellness Warriors. Welcome back to another episode of the Wellness Inspired Podcast, a place where you can find inspiration, motivation, and empowerment in the pursuit of a wellness lifestyle. I'm your host, Sherry Davidson. I'm a wellness coach, acupuncturist, trail runner, and former interior designer in Houston, Texas. And I am deeply passionate about health and well-being. And as always, I'm here with my co-host, Finn. And if you're new to the podcast, Finn is my terrier mixed rescue dog, trail runner, and loyal companion. He is also a therapy dog and greeter at Element 5 Acupuncture and Wellness. Okay, I am super excited today because we are going to dive into a topic that I know will hit home for a lot of you. And it's a reflection on a personal story. We are going to talk about redefining success. Because, in a world that seems to measure our worth by results, like crossing that finish line, snagging that big promotion, or finally achieving that goal you've been chasing, well, it's easy to get swept up thinking that only the end result counts. We push, we hustle, we endure for all those moments that we think will prove our efforts are worth it. But let me ask you this. What if there is more to success than just that? What if the real magic is in the journey itself, the moments of growth, the unexpected joy, and the resilience we build along the way? What if success isn't just about how far we go, but how we live and breathe in those in-between moments? Well, today I'm going to share a personal story that has flipped my definition of success on its head and how shifting from focusing on endurance to actually enjoying the ride can change not just how we pursue our goals, but how we show up in life. So whether you're an athlete pushing your limits, a professional juggling a packed schedule, or just someone trying to grow and evolve, this episode is here to challenge your idea of what it truly means to succeed. But before we jump in, I have to talk about the Wellness River Cruise. I can't believe it is 6 months away. If you've been tuning into this podcast over the past year, you've likely caught wind of this Wellness River Cruise. Well, friends, it's here. It's 6 months away, so mark your calendars for April the 20th, 2025, as we set sail on an unforgettable 7-night cruise along the Danube River. We'll traverse the picturesque landscape of Austria, Germany, Hungary, and Slovakia, and I am super excited about this. Prepare for many active sightseeing adventures, including invigorating hikes, scenic bike rides, and even a few brisk runs. Maybe. Alongside these activities, indulge in the serenity of yoga sessions, engage in enlightening wellness discussions, and savor the flavors of locally sourced cuisine. Excitement is already brewing as several enthusiasts have secured their spots. For those intrigued, I will put the link in the show notes. And if you're certain this Wellness River Cruise is calling your name, please waste no time in securing your place on board. Riverboat cruises fill up rapidly. That's why, my mistake, but we had to shift the dates from this year to next year. So don't think about it too long. Seize the opportunity while you can. And if you're looking for more information in episode 63 and 64, A Journey of Wellness and Wonder on the Danube with AMA Waterways, I had the pleasure of having Laurie. She is a representative from AMA Waterways, and Tammy, my friend, she is a seasoned travel concierge. They came onto the podcast and we got to discuss the full river cruise experience. So that was super cool. So feel free to check those episodes out for more information. Again, this all has to happen quickly. The cruise is around the corner. It's April of next year, and there are only 129 cabins on the boat. They sell out quickly. So if you're interested, put your deposit down. It's not a lot to hold your spot. Okay, well, let's get started. Reflecting on this past year, I set some big goals, and I was met with obstacles and challenges the whole way. As my goals slipped away, I started beating up on myself a little because I was so focused on not reaching my goal. I was a failure because I didn't cross the finish line. Worse, I didn't even start. I didn't like how I was feeling. So I put on my coaching hat and asked myself, what success have I had on this journey? And you know what? I found so many things. but I was so focused on the finish line, I couldn't see them. So as I started to see the whole picture, I started rethinking what success means. So I want to start by exploring how success is commonly defined. And for most of us, it's tied to achieving measurable milestones. So completing a big race, landing a promotion, or achieving a personal best. And while these moments are definitely worth celebrating, I don't want to diminish them. They are worth celebration. But focusing solely on outcomes can make the process feel empty when things don't go as planned. And let's face it, life is full of unexpected twists and turns. And these twists and turns, challenges and obstacles, they have a way of reshaping our journey. This past year reminded me of just how powerful that lesson can be. I want to share my personal story with you because this is where this all came from. I made a commitment, and it took me a long time to make this commitment. A long time. But I finally did it in January of 2024. With excitement and enthusiasm, I signed up and trained for my first 100-mile trail race, the Javelina 100, set against the stunning backdrop of Arizona's McDowell Mountains. But, as life often does, it threw a wrench in my plans. Along the way, I battled a stubborn case of plantar fasciitis, along with many other things, but this was the big thing. I had pain all day, every day. I tried every trick in the book for relief, and some things helped. But this persistent plantar fasciitis turned my days into a delicate dance of pain management with endless hours at the gym, on a bike and elliptical, replacing my road and trail miles because I was determined to keep moving forward. And in September, the bottom of my foot went numb, and I had to confront a tough truth. My foot simply wasn't ready, not ready for a 100-mile race in October. So with my 100-mile goal slipping away, I had to make a choice that wasn't easy. So I withdrew from the 100-mile distance. And it was hard because I wanted it. I really, really wanted it. And I had already invested so much time in training. I started training, I think, in March, and this was September. You know, I just couldn't let it go. I couldn't let it go. I was flip-flopping back and forth. Do I still go? Do I not go? Do I save the money? You know, back and forth. I know I drove my friends crazy. I was in, I was out. Are you coming? Am I going? Am I not going? It was just back and forth. So yeah, I just couldn't let it go. So I decided to head off there anyway with my crew, and I decided to enjoy the trip and drop down in distance to the Javelina 31K Jackass Night Trail Run. So I started at 6 p.m. in the McDowell Mountain Range and ran 20 miles through the desert at night under the stars. Best decision ever. Now, my foot was a bit cranky, but I surprised myself with how well I did and had an absolute blast. The trip was a huge success. I got to spend time with new and old friends, and witnessing all the amazing accomplishments out there was beyond inspiring. The decision pushed me to rethink success in itself, shifting my focus from distance to what truly matters, staying connected to my body's needs and embracing the experience for what it was. And what I found that night was joy. Joy in being surrounded by other passionate runners and feeling the cool desert air under the blanket of stars, and realizing that my wellness journey is about more than just proving I can go the distance with a bummed foot. Now, I don't think it's ever a good idea to start a 100-mile race with a bummed foot. Doesn't mean I'm not going to try this again. That unforgettable night reminded me that every challenge, every twist in the path is an opportunity to redefine what success looks like and find growth in unexpected places. I embraced the shift from endurance to enjoyment. So you might be asking, what does shifting from endurance to enjoyment really mean? And first, I want to be clear, Endurance is a powerful muscle to develop, and it's essential when you're striving towards a big goal. That's why I do these races. And if I had been at the start line of that 100-mile race with a healthy foot, you better believe my mindset would have been about endurance and pushing through anything to reach that goal. There's a real value in digging deep and persevering, because when you get through it, you get this unshakable confidence, this coping skill that you can get through anything. And there's something really valuable about that. But this time around, I had to pivot. With an injury, I knew that forcing my way through it wasn't the answer. So instead, I reframed my mindset towards enjoyment, reconnected with why I started running in the first place. Running, like any wellness practice, should be fueled by passion and curiosity, not by just sheer grit and determination. And for me, this shift allowed me to appreciate the experience, even if it didn't look the way I originally planned. And it reminded me that there is joy in simply being out there in movement, in nature, and all the camaraderie with other runners. This mindset isn't just for athletes. Whether you're balancing a demanding career, managing family life, or navigating personal growth, learning to find enjoyment in the process can make all the difference. When we redefine success to include joy, we create space for growth, self-compassion, and discovery. Challenges become a part of the adventure rather than roadblocks. And every run, project, or goal becomes an opportunity to learn, adapt, and appreciate life more fully. Okay, with all of that said, if redefining success sounds like something you'd like to embrace, you know I'm going to give you a few steps to guide you. So I have 4 points here. So you want to set fluid goals. Important, fluid, flexible. So you can have ambitious goals, and I think everybody should, but allow for flexibility. Life isn't linear, and adaptability helps you navigate changes with ease. Another one, be celebrate the process. Remember to take joy in each step and stage of your journey. So whether it's the training, the learning curve, or the people you meet along the way. Third one is to tune into your body. In wellness and life, listening to your intuition and physical cues can help you make decisions that prioritize your long-term health and happiness. And last one is to reframe your mindset. Look at setbacks not as failures, but as redirections that lead to new experiences and new perspective. I actually think that that's one of my favorite ones. All right, friends. Well, we're going to wrap this up with a few closing thoughts. And I just want you to remember that success isn't just about crossing the finish line. It's about enjoying the steps that take you there. And my experience at the Javelina 100 was a big reminder that even when plans change, the story continues. And it's often richer with the twists and turns, making it a great adventure. Well, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the Wellness Inspired Podcast. And if you're looking for ways to bring more joy into your wellness journey, I hope today's conversation has sparked some ideas. And remember, it's not just about enduring, it's about enjoying. So until next time, stay inspired, stay curious, and keep finding adventure in your wellness path. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to the podcast and share with your family and friends. You can also give me a rating and review wherever you listen to your podcast. It helps others find me as well. To get updates on new episodes and wellness inspiration in your inbox, please join the Wellness Inspired community. Go to thewellnessinspiredpodcast.com to sign up. I'll put the link to the website in the show notes so you can click and join. Also, there's a Facebook community at The Wellness Inspired, and you can follow me on Instagram at wellness_inspired. If you're in the Houston area or just visiting and interested in our services, acupuncture, herbal medicine, cupping, zen shiatsu, or dry needling therapy, contact us. You can find out more on our website at element5om.com. That's element5, the number 5om.com. And again, I'll put the link in the show notes. If you're interested in health and wellness coaching, we can connect in the clinic or on Zoom. Reach out to us and we'll get you on the schedule. And as always, I would love to hear your feedback. I am dedicated to bringing you great content that is inspiring and informative with an artsy, fun, edgy spin. Thank you so much for listening. We'll meet here again next time. And remember, never stop exploring, learning, loving, and being you. Bye.